Hey, what's up everyone? This is Ryan Sims from CG Hacks, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I created this self-portrait at home in a small space by myself. Today, I'm going to be doing a really fun and creative headshot for an event that I have coming up. And as you can see, I am in my living room. We are currently trying to clean out my garage, which is also acting as my studio. And so as we're doing that, we just decided, hey, we need to get this headshot knocked out. So let's just set up real quick in the living room. And that's what we've done. So we are in a tight space, which can be kind of fun and creative because it kind of shows off what you can do when you don't have a lot of room and you don't have a big studio. You just have a small space that you can work in. So that's what we're doing today. So I've got my V-Flat here from V-Flat World. That's going to be my background. And I have got a whole policy buff setup here. I have got the new Celestial here as my main light with a strip box. That's going to be my main light right there. And then over here, if you can see, I've got two Einsteins. This Einstein right here has got a teal blue color gel on it, and this one has an orange color gel. So we're going for lots of colorfulness and awesome, fun, creative stuff today. And then you can see I've got a Link 800 watt second flash unit here on the ground. And it also has a strip box that's actually got a blue color gel. If you check it out, come on over, come check this out. Yeah. So if I open this bad boy up and unhook this, you can see I've got that deep blue color gel dome connected magnetically to the Link. And so that's always nice and convenient. And that's going to be a nice little fill light kind of shooting up in this direction. So long story short, I want to do something really fun and creative, maybe add in some Cinema 4D effects and Photoshop, and it's going to have like floating colorful liquid and just a bunch of, well, you'll see. It'll be fun. And right here I've got my Canon R5 on a tripod here. I've got the Policy Buff hub connected to that, which is of course going to be my trigger for all of these lights. So I'll briefly do a screen recording on my phone just to kind of show you how the Buff app works, and also using the Canon app to remotely trigger my camera. So I am literally doing some professional selfies today. Basically, I'm going to be shooting this myself, all by myself in my living room. So should be lots of fun. Let's get right to it. So here you can see I'm scrolling on my phone, opening up the Buff app. It's identified my lights for me, so if I want to change the power of my Link or my Einstein or whatever lights I have connected, I can do that from here, and then I can swipe on over to my Canon app, and from there I can connect my Canon to my phone and start remotely triggering the camera to start taking images. So now I'm just taking several different images of myself. Let's back up just for a second and let's talk about how we came up with these images. So I like to use a program called Midjourney, which is an AI art generator, to help generate some creative ideas. So I can type in things like creative plus artistic plus colorful plus cinematic headshot, blah, 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 blah. And it'll come up with some really cool ideas. And then from there, I can create variations of other cool ideas and go from there. So this is kind of where I started out getting the idea to do what I was doing. Once I found an image that I was happy with, I decided to use Set.A.Light 3D to practically walk through this lighting setup. It's a great program to use when you want to set up your lights virtually beforehand, so you don't have to do a lot of guessing work once you get into the studio. You can just kind of set where you want your camera to go, set up where you want your lights to go, and once you've kind of got everything set up, you kind of have what the final image will look like right here. So once you get in the studio, just set your lights up like this and get to work. Now here is where the real fun begins. So after retouching the image, dodging and burning the image, and cutting out the image, and then putting a whole brand new gradient background in the image, I used Maxon Cinema 4D to bring in some 3D elements. Now I used the retouched image of me as a background and also a 3D dummy model to give me an idea of how I needed to position the liquid in the scene. And I basically recreated the same lighting setup that I used to shoot the image in Cinema 4D. Now, these liquid models can be downloaded for free at cgtrader.com. I used the 3D car paints material pack for Redshift from CG Hacks to add a vibrant, glossy splash of color to these models. Once I had everything positioned where I wanted it, I rendered these liquid models individually as PNGs so I could then upload them to Photoshop and position them where I wanted. I would add masks to hide and reveal where I wanted the liquid to show up in the image to make it seem like the liquid was swirling around me. When I wanted to mess with the color of an image, I'd simply add a clipping mask of selective color and play around with the color sliders. To give it that nice, soft glow effect, I used Oniric from Composite Nation, which is truly an amazing plugin if you're wanting to create nice, soft glows that are non-destructive in your workflow. Now for the eyes, I created a new layer and just simply used the eyedropper tool to sample the blue that was underneath my eyes and just kind of painted in the iris and then played with the blending modes and also the blend if settings just to give my iris a little bit more pop of color. And for final sharpening, I added a high pass filter, set the radius to 2 pixels, and changed the blending mode to vivid light to sharpen the image, and added a little noise to the image on a stamped layer. And there you have it, my new headshot. So remember, you don't always have to have the fanciest setup or the fanciest studio or even a lot of space to be able to create something creative. I found that when I'm working in stressful situations and have limited options, that's usually when you come up with your most creative ideas. Well, you may say, Ryan, I don't have Cinema 4D. How can I create images like this? Well, there are options out there like Blender and Unreal Engine, and they're absolutely free. Just make sure you have the computer and the GPU to run it, because that's kind of important. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please consider giving us a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. And remember, regardless of whether you have the fanciest gear or the best studio space or the best software or whatever it is, there are options out there. Don't make excuses. Create more, say less, and stay creative.